Hello, good day to you. My name is Todd Rowland. I'm sitting here with Chris Dole. And we're going to talk to you just a minute about a couple of different things. One is the network marketing or the multi-level marketing or the direct sales industry. It's the same thing, but it's called three different names. And we're also going to talk to you about a particular company in this industry called ARIIX. Just a brief history about us. My wife, Ashley, and I, we've been a part of the network marketing industry now for over 15 years, full-time. I have not had what we'd call a real job since I was 31 years old, and I'm about to be 47, but never did I dream that I would grow up to do something like this, as I'm sure you didn't think you would grow up to be in something called network marketing or direct sales or multi-level marketing. I was a high school football coach for a number of years, more than a decade. Loved what I did. I'd won a state championship, and I thought that's what I would always do. But my wife and I had 4 children, and she was a stay-at-home mom with our 4 kids. And I always tell people we didn't live paycheck to paycheck. We lived slightly below paycheck to paycheck. And when you do that for consecutive months, you run into all kind of issues. And I was mowing yards and landscaping and doing all kind of extra things. And my dad, of all people, exposed me to this industry. And I was so naive, never heard of it before. I wasn't even knowledgeable enough to be skeptical. And we got started for just extra money. We just wanted to get our head above water. And about a year into it, it was tripling our coach's income. And we went full-time and have never looked back. And Chris, you and I became friends about 90 days after I got started. And you're the exact opposite of what Ash and I were. You were a big business guy.
Well, we've been in business most of my life, personal business, and I had done multiple things. When you met me, I had just been in the manufacturing business for almost about 16 years. It's hard to believe it's been that long. And then the North American Free Trade Agreement that most of us heard about from a previous election put us out of business. But at that time, I'd employed near 500 people for several years. And but you know, I didn't want to be a part of network marketing. It wasn't something I was really interested in. But the bottom line was, I'm a business guy, and I just looked at I always looked at the risk versus reward, and there was very little risk involved. If I could make some extra money. That's what I was looking for. I had kids in school, and I needed to make more money. And at the time, it just made total business sense to me. And so I joined the industry, as you well know. It's hard to believe it's been 16 years, and now I really understand it. And it's nothing. I would never do anything else because of that.
Yeah, you know, Chris, I was a football coach, and you were a business owner, but we both made the same kind of income, and that was called linear income, which means you had to open your business up every day. I had to show up and coach. I know that when I quit coaching, I had coached for a decade, and I resigned. And I was paid 1 month later, and it stopped that day.
Right.
And when you shut down your business, when the NAFTA agreement passed, same thing?
Yeah, we were the largest contractor for Lee Jeans for many, many years. And the bottom line was the day we stopped doing manufacturing, the day the checks stopped coming. So that's what I really learned about network marketing is if you really begin to understand the power of residual income, it just makes a true difference. And that's why I love this industry. Not because I loved it. I loved what it did. I was always about the results, and that's like I go back to saying risk versus return.
Yeah, so you know, linear versus residual income. One of the things we're going to talk about today is a way to build an income that cumulatively builds, and when you stop working, it continues to come. So a residual income is you build a $500 a month paycheck, and then all of a sudden you're distracted and don't work for a little while, and you keep getting $500 a month. That's a pretty big deal, isn't it?
Absolutely. That's people sometimes do it. In rental properties. But the risk is so much higher. You got to buy those properties, and somebody don't pay you your rent. But in network marketing, it's just a very low investment to get started. And there's just, if you really begin to understand it, business owners always get it. It's the people that work jobs that don't get that part.
But you know, Chris, although the industry is unbelievable, there's thousands of companies, and and you and I have been a part of the industry for a long time, and I think there's only a very few that are great. And you know, I always tell people that the first time network marketing found us, it was a good company. We joined it. We spent 12 years there, and it was a fantastic journey. But 12 years into it, we decided we wanted to go find the perfect company. And you, along with some other people that were full-time, we went and studied it. And there was a lot of criteria we had to meet. And we discovered a company called ARIIX. And it really was so far above all the rest we were studying that there was no comparison.
Yeah, we didn't make emotional decisions. We really made a decision based on the quality of the company. There were several criteria that we were both looking for, and I didn't know if we would find that company, to be perfectly honest. We had a list of things we were looking for, and without question, ARIIX was the only company that came, that met those needs.
So let's go through that list with everybody. It begins with the group that owns the company, the ownership group.
Absolutely.
And there's about 7 different owners in the company, 5 main owners, and these guys have an intention to build a multi-billion-dollar company. And it begins with intention because most owners never think about that. And to build a multi-billion-dollar company, it requires a lot of reinvestment. For example, we just built a $14 million facility in mainland China. We opened up offices now in Taiwan, the Netherlands, England, other countries, right. U.S.
Well, the company's growing at rapid rates, but as you said, unfortunately with our industry, so many companies are not looking for the long term. And this company was set up so different. That's what intrigued us about their vision and what they were trying to do, and we've not been disappointed.
That's right. And the last thing, the group of owners here, if you look at them all, they were all CEOs or CFOs of multi-hundred-million-dollar companies. Some companies these guys were a part of were close to $1 billion companies. They had so much experience before they started the company. And because of that, they've been able to attract some of the best network marketers ever. Tim Sells became a part of this. He had written a CD, or made a CD, that sold over 40 million copies. He'd been on the sideline in this industry for 17 years. And when he found out these guys were going to open their own company, he came out of retirement like that to join them.
And Tim Sells was a big part of me deciding to take a look at this company. His reputation, I had used his CDs to help build my business. I had never thought I'd ever meet the guy, but he was such a, and of course Robert Allen, when you think about him, somebody's written multiple books I'd read. Multiple Streams of Income was a book I'd read read several times, and let's just face it, you're talking about people that did not have to do this for the money. They were already successful, but they saw a great opportunity, so they were a big influence on me before I started.
That's right. So criteria for a great company in the industry is owners that have a long-term intention. They want to create a multi-billion-dollar company that's going to last forever. But then the other thing that kind of plagues our industry is a lot of companies are a weight loss company, or they're a skincare company, or they're some kind of liquid drink company. Well, the unique thing about ARIIX is they became what we call a multi-divisional company.
Yeah, that made real sense to me, Todd, because of my background in the manufacturing business. One of my biggest customers was Vanity Fair. And you probably don't remember who Vanity Fair is or don't realize them. They're the largest garment manufacturer in the world. If you haven't heard of them, but you don't understand, they're a divisional company. They own Lee Jeans, they own Wrangler Jeans, they own Timberland. We go down the list. They have the same concept. Multi-brands, and when a brand's not as hot as another one, it doesn't matter. They're continuing to add brands.
All owned by the parent company.
All owned by, and people don't realize Vanity Fair is, they're a $100 billion company because they understand the division. And that's what ARIIX is doing here.
Yeah, and there's other companies. Like Young brand owns KFC, Taco Bell.
Good example.
So ARIIX is the parent company here, but we have all kinds of divisions. We've got a weight loss division called Slenderize. We've got a nutrition division called Nutrify. We've got a skincare division called Jove. We've got an air and water division called Purity. And all of these divisions come with their own website. You can build it as a big business with all these. Or if you love skincare, or you love weight loss, or you love nutrition, you can go to individualize it.
Well, yeah, they got the essential oils as well, and we've got the hair and skincare. It's just so much, and that's what really separates us, is that it's not one thing that fits. It's a lot of things that makes our company stable.
It's unbelievable.
It really is.
And when they created all of the divisions, what they did, these group of owners were so intelligent. They went out and hired a lady named Deanna Latson. Deanna Latson's never been in this industry before, but she has spoken at over 800 universities on nutrition. She was a nutrition expert, a skincare expert, because she has what's called a no-compromise philosophy. And she was able to build a team of doctors, over 40 now, on this team. Matter of fact, our chief medical doctor, Dr. Strand, has written a number of best-selling books. One's called What Your Doctor Doesn't Know About Nutrition That May Be Killing You. So let's begin with these divisions, Chris. One is our weight loss nutrition division, Slenderize and Nutrify. You and I have seen hundreds of people lose hundreds of pounds. We've seen thousands of people lose what they call their ideal weight, get back to what they want to be. You actually had a couple of issues you've been dealing with all of your life, and some of this Nutrify division helped you feel better.
I've dealt with, I've lost about 80 pounds on the product, but it wasn't just that. It's just the way the health and the different things we could go into a lot of things with my own personal issues with my asthma and breathing issues. And I won't tell you that they cured anything. What they've done is helped me to I'm just better. I've got off a lot of medications that I was otherwise, had to have. But it's more than that. I never looked at this from that part. I was here for the money. I must be honest, Todd. I came because of the business side of it.
And we're getting to that in just a minute.
That's what I'm all about.
Yeah, but without the quality product, that part doesn't work.
That's right. Got to have both.
So the other piece of the puzzle is we have what's called a 36 superfood liquid drink. 36 of the best superfoods on planet Earth, all in one drink. We call it MOA. It stands for Mother of All. It's got all the mushrooms, 11 different ingredients specifically fight inflammation. So any inflammation issues you may have, people sleep better. We have more energy, overall sense of well-being. Maybe the best product. It is one of the number one selling products around the world. It's unbelievable. You could. If you were wanting to be a one-product company, this one product could build an entire company, as a lot of other liquid nutrition drinks have.
Well, Todd, I think we need to realize that the company continues to improve these products. And you mentioned Deanna and her no-compromise philosophy. Unlike most companies, this company's trying to constantly, improve the products. Why don't you mention what Deanna did?
As a matter of fact, all liquid nutrition drinks, there's always a preservative. And what our company did, because there wasn't a natural preservative out there, we went and invented one, and we have a patent on it now. So MOA actually has a patented preservative in our 36 food nutrition drink.
That's
unbelievable.
We're excited because that just shows that the no compromise attitude with Deanna. I call her the pixie dust of the company because she is so picky and so dedicated to making our products the absolute best.
That's right. So you got weight loss, you got nutrition, and then the other thing is skincare. The skin is the largest organ in the body. It absorbs at the same rate as the digestive system does. But here's the cool thing. We have developed a skincare with a tightener, a brightener, a moisturizer without any negative ingredients. I mean, this little night cream thing, I don't know what's in it. All I know is when I rub it on my face, it is unbelievable.
Well, my wife's been in hair and skincare for 40 years, and she will tell you, and she's not one that you can just sell. Just because I say it don't mean nothing to Judy. That's the way she is. She will tell you right up front, this is the best product she's ever used in her 40 years, and she's been pitched and shown everything because of what she's done for so many years, and she loves the Jobay product.
And we're two middle-aged men. We're not big essential oil sellers. I don't see us in an essential oil company.
No.
But I ain't gonna lie, I use our essential oil division.
I do. But my team does. It doesn't about what I'm using, and that's the real difference here. And thanks for calling me middle-aged, but I'm a little more than middle-aged. But yeah, I love them because they made a difference in my life. But this is probably my favorite product. It really has become, even though I love the Nutrify, it's the Purity Air Systems and the water bottles. I've really become, what can I say, a real believer that clean air in your home as well as clean water will make a difference in your life. And,
I mean, we can go a long time without food. You can't go 3 minutes without pure oxygen.
That's right.
And you can't go more than 3 days without some good water. So clean water and clean air is real important.
Absolutely. And there's so many, and we all know that pollution is going on, but I didn't realize that, home pollution is the worst. And then you start doing your studies on it. We could spend 20 minutes just talking about that, but let's move on to Revive.
Yeah, Revive, shampoos, conditioners, toothpaste. You're like, what? Well, you cannot believe how many chemicals are in your shampoos and conditioners. A simple thing called a paraben. PEG, a petroleum-based ingredient, known carcinogens. Look, I dare you, look at your own facial stuff, your shampoos, your conditioners. Google the ingredients, and it'll take you 1 second to throw them in the garbage can, Chris.
And no question about it. And but I think both sides know about the fluorides. I mean, that's the one in toothpaste that literally says on there that if you ingest it, call poison control. And I'm thinking, we give this bubblegum flavors to our children, expecting them not. I mean, is that not insane?
It's
sometimes?
unbelievable, Chris.
So, I really love the toothpaste. I don't, I won't say I use everything here, but I will guarantee you this: I use about 90% of everything we have because I've seen the differences in my own health.
So let's talk a little bit about now. By the way, those divisions are expanding. I know for sure 2 more divisions are coming on board. Several divisions are expanding. We've got a cardiovascular division coming on board that we're really excited about. A 45-year cardiologist has joined us now. It's going to be a really big deal.
Well, even though we're a 5-year-old company, and the divisions that they told us were coming have already gotten here, but we know the next 5 years is going to be amazing with the growth of the company already. Yeah. Let's talk about the money, because that's what most people, I'm here about the money. That's what I was here to begin with for. I love the money side of this, because I'm the business guy.
Yeah, so there's a lot of things that separate this company. We've discussed the divisions, the product quality, the ownership, their vision, where they're taking this company, the integrity. But here's the deal. You can be a distributor, a business owner here for $29.99. A little bit less than 30, a penny less than $30, you own a business. Now, I'm a school teacher. That's a lot of money. But you're a business owner. How many millions of dollars did you have borrowed when you started your manufacturing company?
I don't even know exactly when we ended. I think we had about $3 million in debt when we closed the company that we ended up in a bankruptcy about. But that's why I actually joined this industry. Because again, I go back to risk versus reward. It was very little risk, and then with ARIIX, I mean, $29.95, you buy products, and if you don't like them, they're money back guaranteed. So let's just face it, there is no risk. So it just comes down to if you really want to change. I don't mean that to be rude, but people talk about change, but do you really want to make change?
So once you get your $29.99 distributorship, you can start a couple of different ways. We have 4 different levels. You can start it for 150 volume points of products sold, or you use them, however you want to do it. And then if you get up to 1,500 volume points of products sold or bought during your first 28 days, you're what we call an ultimate. And it comes with all kinds of advantages, to include 24 months of free websites. And one thing I didn't point out is we have 6 divisions. We have 6 different websites.
Absolutely, and all comes with that. So it's not like your overhead is. Let's just face it. You know, big business has overhead and rent. There's just not any overhead here. I mean, it's just stuff you're already using. So that really makes the big difference.
Yeah. So I think a key thing, Chris, we started this from a business standpoint. So one of the things that separates ARIIX is its ownership, the product quality, but this may be the biggest deal.
This is when I started. I didn't understand the product quality. You did, because that was your background. You knew they had some great products, but for me, you have to understand, I was just not. I was here. I'm the Jerry Maguire guy. Look, I was here for the money.
Show me the money.
Show me the money. And so the compensation plan, I kept looking for the loophole, because I just knew I was going to find it. But unfortunately, I should say fortunately, I never found it. I just knew there was going to be something, but there was not any tripwires here. They did what they said.
So when we say we're the #1 compensation plan in the world, it's not because we said it. That's third-party voted, Chris, year after year.
That's exactly right. From third-party direct sellers association voted us the #1 compensation plan. And you just look on the screen here, and you can see other brands that consider themselves competition. I don't consider them competition, but they consider themselves our competition. They just don't pay what we do.
So let's get serious here. A lot of companies, what they'll do is they'll say, this piece of my pay plan is better than that piece of your pay plan. Or look at this compared to that. Well, here's the reality. ARIIX pays out in between 50 and 51% of total dollars in the front door every month, every week. Okay? You can see the comparative companies, what they pay out. No matter what they say about pieces of their pay plan, this is total payout. And this is not reps talking. The CEO of our company, Fred Cooper, he was a PhD statistics teacher at the University of Utah. And his interest into this industry is he helped companies write pay plans and help pay plans from being broken. And from there, got a start in the industry and ended up being the CEO of what now is today a billion-dollar company in the industry before he started his own. But here's the deal. He has a $10,000 bet that has been running since we've been here for 4 years.
Absolutely.
And the bet is this. No matter what a rep says, no matter what you and I say, if you can get your owner of your company to come to Fred and say, you and him do a debate that's filmed live for YouTube on the pay plan compensation plan. If your pay plan pays out more than we do, he will give you a $10,000 check. And I'm sure the owner would probably split it with a rep that could get the owner to do that.
Well, we both know that that's not going to happen, because we all know that we've already been voted the #1. So the reason they don't challenge it is because the owners know.
Yeah. 4 years, nobody's ever accepted the challenge.
Nobody's accepted
A lot of reps say they accept it, but when they take it to their owner, it never actually happens.
That's actually right. I've actually had some people tell me they were going to do that.
Yeah, and we just want to put one thing out there, that we never want to mislead anybody. This is a business, Chris.
It'll take work.
It takes work, it takes time, it takes effort. Our company puts out what they call an income disclaimer. Matter of fact, Chris, you're a president, and it says presidents here on average make $379,000 per year.
And and the bottom line is, if you really look at other companies, go look for theirs, because we're proud of ours, and so it's easily accessible.
Find it on Google.
You can find it on Google, and not only that, but if you look at the lower levels, just face it. Someone who just wants to, we're here to make a big income. That was our whole thing. But somebody, the stay-at-home mom who's looking for a part-time income, just look down here at the supervisor.
First
promotion,
$7,000 a year.
$500 a month. $525 a month, $550 a month. Is that life-changing for some? It is.
Yeah, and when Fred Cooper, Dr. Cooper, talks about our compensation plan, it's got to be even. You can't give all the money to top people.
Some companies do.
A lot of companies do. It creates a story, but when people that join tomorrow aren't able to make a good income, they're not going to stick with it.
Your retention's not there, and that's
right.
what we were both looking for. We were looking for a company that was fair to everybody,
All the way
and
across the board.
Because we wanted retention. We wanted people to stay.
I tell you what, a great example is that you signed up a guy named Aaron Decker.
Oh yeah,
He's passed you up. He's a CEO.
that's wonderful for me.
Yeah, so his average income at CEO is $557,000 a year. You're only a president. Your average income is only $379,000.
No problem for me. I like it.
I'm only a president.
And we're both.
Aaron's passes both up.
That's great because we're both happy because it's not one of those things where it's only the people at the top. It's you can make.
You work harder. You're better at what you do. You get more.
That's exactly right.
Okay, so the compensation plan pays you 8 different ways. First off, maybe most important, if you become what we call an ultimate in the company, you get a 30% retail profit. It's a big deal, Chris.
It is, and it's a big difference in what the company, they set this up recently, and it really made a difference for the newer reps because it gives them some really quick income on just selling some products and things that they want to get people started on. And it's called our team lead bonus, and it's just amazing how much difference it makes for people. And
then you start building a team. When you first begin here, we start with what we call 2 distribution lines. And Chris is called base pay, and you're simply paid 15% unlimited on the lesser of your 2 distribution lines. You're paid on both legs, as we're getting ready to show you. But we're not a binary, is what people would think when they would initially hear that. We are what's called a multi-line. We're a patented pay plan, can never be mimicked. Meaning we can build as many legs, global distribution legs, as we want to.
Well, it's the only compensation plan that can build depth and width, and it gives you the choice of which you prefer. And I've looked at, you and I both have looked at so many compensation plans, and there's just nothing that gives you the versatility. And that's what most people don't get. If they just really study what we have here, they would understand that it's unique. I don't know that I realized how unique until I've been here a while.
So you can build as many legs as you want, and you're paid 15% unlimited on every leg that you build. And we have a magical number of $2,000 in weekly pay. When you hit $2,000, you now get shares in what's called the bonus pool, which is 3% of worldwide revenue. $152 million for our 5th year, Chris.
Yeah, that's revenue. Amazing. And this, by the way, we're only speaking about just base commissions here. There's going to be other ways to get paid, so we're only talking about base pay.
That's right. So it's 15% of every leg but your biggest. So if you build, as this indicates, 6 legs, you're paid on 5 of the 6.
Absolutely.
But here's the key thing. So our magical number is 13,000 in volume. If you multiply that times 15%, you get 2,000 in base pay. But here's the key thing. You get into the bonus pool. It's not a pool where you have to earn or you get picked. You get 13,000 in volume points sold, you're in it, Chris. And it's 500 extra for the week, 2,000 for the month.
Right. And then you add another line. They basically triple for doing the same, less work. They triple the pay.
That's right. So another leg, you get another 2,000. So it's 2,000 plus 2,000 plus 1,600. So if you built 4 legs, Chris, that sold 13,000 each for the week, you get 2,000 for every leg plus 4,800. So 2, 4, 6, $10,800 for 3 legs selling 13,000 in volumes.
And that's just the base pay.
Chris, it's only beginning. This is your favorite part of the
This is my favorite part, is matching. This is what really got me a part of this because I knew I was planning to build a bigger team here. And I've been doing this a long time, so I understood the power of this. And that's what most people don't understand. Match pay was let's face it, Todd, you and I both, I don't think we realized the power. We knew how good it was, but it was better because what difference here? Unlike companies that have binaries, we pay match pay on all legs. It doesn't make any difference. If they're placed on a power line, it doesn't matter.
No breakaways.
And no breakaways.
There's companies out there I know of that when they catch you by title, they break out a matching check.
Or there's a cap on it. No caps.
You sign up somebody. This is any leg. This is your power. If you only ever built one leg here.
Only sign up one person.
Ever. People get rich here with one person.
You can because of the ultimate status, you get 3 levels of match pay if you only sponsored a single person.
You sign up somebody in your first generation for life. When they get paid on Friday, the company matches 15% of their check into your check.
Yeah, this is why I love Aaron Decker. because I personally sponsored him and he's made CEO. My match pay on him is more than most people make in a year. Just match pay on him.
And when Aaron Decker signs up somebody that's your second generation, 10% match.
And that's way more than what I would have anticipated because he's put a lot of people in this company.
And then 5% through 7.
Yeah, you got to earn some of these others, but just remember that 3 levels, if you become the ultimate status that we spoke about, are guaranteed
For life.
For life.
And there's compression involved, Chris.
That's
a
right.
big
Somebody
deal.
leaves. If people have been in this industry very long, they will understand that some people are going to quit. That's just life. It doesn't matter whether it's church or we can name off all kinds of things people quit. They guarantee they're going to pay out this much money. That's the bottom line. They're going to pay it out to somebody. So it dynamically compresses to make sure that someone's collecting that money.
And Chris, this is one of the most unique things. You and I have been around the industry for a long time. Matter of fact, we were a part of a company that gave away free cars.
Sure.
I think Ash and I have won 7. You've won 6 or
5 or
7.
6, yeah.
Yeah. But the way it always worked is that when you win this car, you would get the car, but it would be, you wouldn't own it. It would be just like you had bought it, but now you got to pay the payment. And if you don't meet a certain criteria, you don't get the money in your check to make the payment. I think anybody that's ever been in network marketing would realize that.
Yeah, it's a lease. Obviously, they lease the car, but you lease the car, and they're just willing. If you hit a certain level, then they make the payment for you. But it's a cap. It's all or nothing. That's what's so unique about this.
So ARIIX did something very different. They created a savings account. You can call it a car program, you call it a house program, you call it whatever you want to. But here's the deal. When you start making in excess of $250 per week in base pay, the company's going to match an extra 15% into your check.
And if you want to buy a car, that's fine. You can buy, but here's the point. You don't have to buy a car they pick for you so they can get advertisement. You pick what you want.
Your car, your brand, your watch, your savings account, your credit card consolidation, your kids'
house
education.
payment. Anything you want it to be.
But here's the cool thing, Chris. We never received ever a payment for a car more than $700 in a month. I've been around this industry a long time.
Right.
That's a high one. This company gives you 15% of your checks. If you make $1,000, you get an extra $150 for the week.
Right.
However, it goes up to $500 a week or $2,000 a month. So we got a bunch of kids in our company, Duke and Vern, I can name a bunch of them out in California. They're all driving Lamborghinis and Rolls Royces, Ferraris, because if you want to call it a car program, you can make up to $2,000 extra per month, which would be our car program / savings account.
And it's not, that doesn't turn me on because that's not what I'm looking for a Ferrari.
We're a little older now.
It'd be too hard for me to get in and out. But I tell you what, an extra $2,000 a month to put towards something that I prefer, maybe a boat to fish or something I prefer to spend some time on. But it's a choice. That's the good part I like about it. Is it's your choice, not your
15%.
Period.
Besides all of those different ways you get paid, you can win a free vacation here. There's a qualification period every 6 months. And our next trip is the Dominican Republic. We've been on a number of trips. It's free air, transportation, it's free hotel, it's free food, it's 5-star resorts. You get free stuff in your room every night. It's first class.
They do everything the right way. And I never joined this company because I wanted to go on a trip. But I tell you this much, a free vacation along with earning money that you could already afford, it's a nice little perk.
That's right.
We're fixing to talk about some really perks now.
This takes it over the top, guys. This is a real difference maker. We've just launched a new app called the ARIIX Rewards Opportunity. And in addition to that vacation, if you want to take like a family vacation or you want to win a free iPad, we now are going to be able to build reward points for you in this new app for sponsoring or for watching videos to learn all kinds of things. And when you do that, you can cash those rewards in for a new car, not a lease, a free car. It's yours in your name. You can even call the company and say, I want a free house. And they'll tell you the amount of rewards you need to earn and the time frame you need to earn it in, and boom, the company buys you a new house. I don't think that's being done anywhere in the industry.
I want to make it very clear that you're going to have to work very hard for those bigger prizes. But the bottom line is they give you the choice and you decide if that's what you want to do.
Right. So make sure ARIIX Opportunity Rewards, Apple or Android, get that downloaded on your phone. It's a big deal.
It is.
Now, by the way, the other thing, we just went on one, but the other thing you can turn those rewards in for is to go out to Utah where our corporate headquarters are. You can go snowmobiling, skiing, elk hunting, stay up in Park City. It's a blast, isn't it, Chris? You and I are headed out there next week.
That's right. That's just another perk. They're wanting people to come out, of course, to the corporate office. They know that it helps people if they're there. So they
manufacturing tours.
Oh, yeah, they'd see everything. So it's just one of those little things they do to try to keep people plugged in. But Todd, I want you to really, this is what I'm excited about. We both are, because this is an industry first.
Never been done before.
Absolutely.
Ever. So let's spell this out. Small business owners, network marketers, we all struggle with loans because in today's loan environment, there's a lot of income verification required. And we're all small business owners, so we've got business expenses and things that we write off on our tax returns. ARIIX is now partnered with a bank. Industry first. Never been done before, ever in this industry. You become a part of ARIIX and start making an income. That is your verification. If you were in ARIIX, when you want an unsecured bank loan for a car, credit card consolidation, kids' education, maybe you just need some extra cash. Maybe you want to open up another business in your town. Literally, you can now go through ARIIX to this bank and get a loan without any income verification, because your ARIIX check over the last 12 to 24 months is your income verification. The way it will work is ARIIX pays us every Friday. You don't have to pay a bank loan, Chris. They literally take it out of your check once a month and pay the bank loan for you.
Not only that, we're going to get better interest rates because they're partnered with ARIIX. So we're going to get better banking because of that. This is one of the things that's got me as excited as anything I've ever seen.
And it's live right now. But coming over the next couple of months, mortgages for houses, they're finalizing that. Group health insurance, life insurance, and car insurance. Never been done.
They're perks, guys. I understand these are just as being a part of the company. They're allowing you to do these things to help you. And it's neat for everybody. Now you're going to talk about the Founders Club.
It's a big deal, Chris.
It's one of those things for those who really want to do something special, that are really going to work this business full time. I know this excites you, and it does me.
It does, Chris. You know, I'm going to remind you that 3% of worldwide revenue is set aside from the day you enter the company. You make $2,000 a weekend base pay. You get shares in that pool and start overriding company revenue. But the Founders Club is quite unique. Again, a network marketing, direct sales first. What this company has done is that if you get in the company and become a top earner, you treat people right, you bill with integrity, all those kind of things, you've been in the company at least 3 years, you're able then to get inducted into the Founders Club. Now, what does that mean? You're not going to believe this. What ARIIX has done, this group of owners, is that at the end of the year, after all representatives are paid, all expenses are paid, company revenue minus expenses equals company profit. All profit from the company will then be split 50-50. The group of owners gets 50% of company profit. The people that have made it into the Founders Club split the other 50% of the profit. We did $152 million in revenue last year. We're on pace this year for $200 million. The goal is to become a multi-billion-dollar company, Chris. And you got a chance here to split besides what you earn in the pay plan. You guys that want to get serious about this one day, you have equal ownership in the company, 50% of profit split. Doesn't it make sense, does it?
No, I can assure you, with about 450 employees, I never split profits. I just paid them for what they did. And
you probably never gave them a 3% override pool.
No, we gave them very little. We gave them just enough to keep them working, and they did just enough to keep me from firing them. So that's the way employees
You're a
work.
classic boss, Chris. That's the way
that's the way most corporate America works. I mean, honestly, this is something totally different that they've. And again, another industry first.
Yeah, and the last piece about being in the Founders Club, besides splitting profit, you have equal vote on any decision made. They want to create a new product, they want to open a new market, they want to build a new facility. You get to vote. Is that something? Because a lot of times, leaders in the field have a better feel than people in the corporate office. That's the reason they've done this.
Well, they've done that for partnership to keep to kind of keep the power among everybody that really is making a difference here. And I mean, they really have done some things to try to equalize that out between the field and that's why this company's growing so fast.
It is.
They really take a difference maker for the field is getting a point. I mean, you both know this is probably one of the bigger reasons why we came here. It's the Bill of Rights.
It's maybe the single biggest piece because you and I have been around the industry a long time, and every industry has its negative. And one of the things we've seen is in this industry, companies will change product quality or compensation plans. I think the previous company we were a part of probably changed their compensation plan 25 times.
At minimum.
We've never seen a change.
Yeah, we did. They gave us an increase. A real one.
A real
cost of living increase.
They didn't change the compensation plan.
They just gave us a bonus.
Just on our retail sales, they bumped us up to 30% on retail sales, Chris.
And they gave us a cost of living index increase.
Unbelievable. On our check, I was looking at it today. They give a cost of living increase. We 80, 160, 240. We get $80 extra a week, so it's $320 a month, Chris. We're getting on a cost of living increase. Who does that?
Well, they even gave us a choice to opt out on it. That's the funny part. They gave us a choice whether we wanted it or not.
Yeah.
Which was just
so
money.
we've never seen they don't make compensation plan changes. if they ever decide to, the Founders Club and what we call the Partners Council have to vote on it. But even bigger than that, what the Bill of Rights says is that if you still don't like it, you can opt out of any change made and stick with the policy procedure you signed up with.
Yeah, this is real true enhancements.
Ownership.
Yeah, it's real true ownership.
Yeah, and then here's another piece of that puzzle, Chris. So this is a really huge deal. In this industry, companies don't like you ever being a part of another company. ARIIX doesn't care. They always say, if we don't have the best product, the best compensation plan, and we don't treat you the right and have the most integrity, why should we expect you to only work ARIIX? If you're a part of another company and you want to keep that check and be a part of ARIIX, ARIIX never is going to kick you out of this company for being a part of another company. It's in the Bill of Rights. Chris, I guarantee you, if you're a part of any other network marketing company and you come to ARIIX, you better not be expecting your check very much longer.
Well, this is really unique, and we both know that that's unique because, let's face it, I mean, most companies don't do that. I mean, it's unprecedented.
There's a guy in our company that started when ARIIX started. He went and became the CEO of another company.
That's right.
That company didn't make it. He kept drawing his paycheck. He was making more money with ARIIX as a rep as he was the CEO of his own company. That company fell. Now he's back here full time. We won't call his name out.
Yeah, that's right. There's just a lot of things. And I had an attorney read this to make sure that I didn't have to be concerned. That he said, you don't have to. This is the real deal. They put themselves in a situation where they can't back out of this.
Yeah, the last piece of the Bill of Rights. They can never take our products and sell them retail. A lot of companies in their policy procedure will tell you at any point they can disband the network marketing arm and go sell their products retail.
And it's happened.
Happens all the time.
It's happened multiple times. As a matter of fact, the company just recently I know about that just did that. So it's really bad that they do that. They let the reps go build the brand and then they go somewhere else and sell it through Walmart or somewhere else. And it's happened multiple times.
Yeah, so Chris, you get started here with your business and you start, with the products. You and I love them. My wife uses the skincare. I sneak her skincare. I love the nutrition. I've lost 40 pounds my first 90 days here. You've lost, how much weight did you lose?
80 pounds total.
Got hundreds of people that lost hundreds of pounds. It's been the most unique experience. But from a business building standpoint, a lot of people say, well, if I'm interested, what do I do next? Well, you and I started in 2001. And in 2001, what do you do next? You hop in your car, you go to living room meetings, you hop on airplanes, you go help people in other states or areas, and
right.
It's a lot of sacrifice. Well, technology's changed that. You and I just did a broadcast 2 nights ago. There was 100 people on the broadcast. You and I were presenting downstairs in my basement.
Right.
There were people from all 50 states and 4 countries on that broadcast.
Yeah, it's just totally different. I mean, when we started the industry, you had dial-up internet. Let's just face it, we got faster internet on our iPhones than we did then. So the broadcast and the ability to technology has changed us to make us a global company, and we've seen that with our own businesses.
That's right. So, a lot of people in traditional business, they visualize like a nutrition store in a shopping center. Well, they got to pay rent, they got to pay employees, they got to pay advertising. Well, all of these divisions, we are their marketing arm. We are their employees. All of that money comes to us. As we mentioned earlier, 50% of the money coming in the front door comes to you and I, the distribution network out here. And, literally we can do it online. I still love doing it in person, but literally online now, because the company's built the infrastructure now into 18 different countries that we have offices in, at least a dozen more that we can do business in at this point in what's called NFR. You can see here the United States, Mexico, Canada, the Netherlands, Ukraine, Portugal, Kyrgyzstan, I can't pronounce it, Singapore. You've got 150 people in your business in Australia, Chris. You've never been there.
I'm not planning on going either. But I mean, we got some in China, some in Russia. So it's really not about who you know. It's about the way the network works now. And with the internet and the live broadcast, it just makes it very versatile to do a lot more business in other areas. That's why it's just different.
So, Chris, always from a business standpoint, it's risk reward. The risk here, $29 and whatever amount of products that you want to utilize or sell to get your business started. The reward, depending on how hard you want to work, could be literally, you could build multi-million-dollar incomes in this company.
Well, people are. So it just comes down to working. I mean, and most people don't understand this is sacrifice. I don't want to make any bones about it, guys. You'll have to work. But if you're willing to do some work, whether it's a little work and you just want a part-time income, or you're looking to do something really big, like Todd and I have decided that we've been doing for a long time, that's your choice. Yeah. We just have the tools.
So you can go to ARIIX with 2 I's, ARIIX.com. You can scroll down a little bit. You can see all the divisions, read about the products. But then what we encourage you to do, whoever sent you this video, just get back in touch with them. They can get you started as a distributor if you want to buy a product, whatever you want to do. It's the most amazing opportunity in the world, and we're all going to be here to help you. Literally, when you get started as a distributor today with whoever sent you this, you can just send this video on to them, the next person you want to show the business, and get your first distributor this afternoon. And then they can do the same thing and get their first distributor this evening. It's an unbelievable concept, isn't it, Chris?
It is. That's why I started in the business. It just made sense, and it's been a life changer. But the reason I did it, Todd, was really, it's what it gets us back in time, and that's what I want people to understand. It's the freedom. It's all
So
about freedom.
let's end with that. This industry will provide a lot of money, but it's the residual income. I have 4 kids, 2 in high school, 1 in college, 1 in middle school, and I have time. I wake up, I cook them breakfast, I help coach their football teams. You have grandkids that you get to spend time. Time freedom. Most people we'll end with this. Most people that make a lot of money have no time. Most people that have a lot of time have no money. This is a chance to build a business that creates residual income and compounding efforts. And one of the few industries in the world that over a period of time can give you both time and money, Chris.
That's why we're here.
Yeah, and we commend you guys for taking the time to watch this. We know it was long, probably close to 35, 40 minutes at this point. But make a decision. Get started. Call the person and change your life. We look forward to getting to know you.
Thanks for listening.